All right, in lesson 17 in module 2, we're going to start working more towards some like algebraic equations. So we've dealt a lot with like the adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing of integers, rational numbers, and we're going to use that now to solve equations. And we're going to start with something you've dealt with a lot in the past, and that's tape diagrams. So we're going to compare tape diagram solutions to algebraic solutions. Okay, and we're going to see how instead of writing a tape diagram, now we're going to write it as an equation. So just a lot of example problems today. So it says for his birthday, Zach and 3 of his friends. So if we have Zach and 3 of his friends, that's 4 total people. Went to a movie. They each got a ticket for $8 and the same snack from the concession stand. And his mom paid $48 for the group's tickets and snacks. How much did each snack cost? All right, and so they give us the equation right here, but I want to show you kind of where it comes from. If we think of it in terms of a tape diagram, okay, so there's 4 people, right? So think back when we did tape diagrams. Okay, so we'd have 4 boxes, right? And this would represent the 4 different people. 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And each one of them, Zach and his 3 friends, they got a ticket for $8, plus they got a snack. Friend 2, friend 3, and friend 4. S represents snack for me. And we know that all together it would cost $48. So we can change this to more algebraic thinking. We don't necessarily have to do a tape diagram, but we want to realize is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are each getting a ticket for $8 plus a snack, okay? And altogether, it's going to equal $48. So this is the algebraic version of this tape diagram, okay? So we're just making the transition to algebra now. So now if we want to solve this, we're going to start with our distributive property. Okay, you guys know the distributive property. You take the number outside the parentheses and you multiply by everything inside the parentheses. So 4 times 8 is 32 plus 4 times s is 4s equals 48. Now, I don't know how much experience you have with solving multi-step equations, and so just kind of follow along with this because we're going to spend a lot of time and I'll give you some exact rules for that. But I want you to know is that the only thing we don't know what it is here is we don't know what the s is. 32 is 32, 4 is 4, 48 is 48. What is s? That is not a letter. It's a symbol representing an unknown number. Okay, so that's what we're trying to solve. We're being problem solvers here, and we're trying to solve find out what s is. So we do that by getting rid of this 32 here to start. Since it's a positive 32, I'm going to combine it with a negative 32. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do the other, just like the one-step equations you've solved in the past. That gives me 0. I am left with 4 times s equals 48 minus 32, which is 16. And this is 4 times s, so we undo multiplying with dividing. Whatever I do to one side, I do the other. This is kind of problems you've done before. 4 divided by 4 is 1s, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So how much did each snack cost? $4. Okay? So our focus today is, these steps are going to stay the same, but we really want to change from tape diagram into equations. And you can see how we're taking what's inside the boxes, okay, and basically multiplying by how many boxes there are. Okay? Let's look at one more example here. Well, we're going to look at a bunch of examples, but we'll see how many we do in this video. We're going to use this information for the rest of them. So it says expenses on your family vacation. John and Egg are summarizing some of the expenses their family vacation for themselves and their 3 children, Louie, Missy, and Bonnie. Write an algebraic equation, create a model to determine how much each item will cost using all of the given information, and answer the questions that follow. So this is something we need to know. Okay, so this is their expenses for their family vacation. Who went on the family vacation? John, Egg, Louie, Missy, Bonnie. 5 people. So we're going to be dealing with the fact that 5 people go on vacation. And it tells us how much the car insurance cost, went to a baseball game, airfare, movies, sandals and t-shirts, hotel and tax, and soda pizza. So we're going to come refer back to this. So if you're doing one of the problems, you're like, ooh, where did Mrs. Messing get that information from? It's probably from this chart. All right. During one rainy day on vacation, the entire family, how many people are in the entire family? 5. Okay. Decide to go watch a matinee movie in the morning and a drive-in movie in the evening. So they went to the theater in the morning, went to a drive-in. Might not have heard of drive-ins, but there used to be a lot of them. The price of a matinee movie in the morning is different from the cost of a drive-in movie in the evening. The tickets for the matinee morning movie cost $6, and it wants to know how much did each person spend that day on movie tickets if the ticket cost for each family member is the same. What was the cost for a ticket for the drive-in movie in the evening? Okay, so it just can seem like it's really overwhelming and a lot of information. So try to break things down and write what we need down. So we had our morning matinee, right? And it says right here that was $6 each. Okay. Our drive-in in the evening. Well, we don't know what it was. It never said that in here. So I'm going to call that D for drive-in. And our total. Well, it doesn't seem like we were given a total, except, remember this information up here? Right here. Movies for one day, $75. So our total for the day was $75. All right. So again, let's think of it in terms of a tape diagram. Now, there's 5 people, so I'm going to break this up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So this is each of the family members. John, Egg, Louie, whoever, okay? So if this is John's here, what did John spend on the movies? Well, he spent $6 plus whatever the cost of a drive-in ticket was. Now, Egg, how much did she spend? Well, $6 plus whatever the drive-in movie costs. Louis, $6 plus whatever the ticket for the drive-in costs. Kind of get the idea here, right? See how we're doing it over and over. Okay, 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And altogether, that's going to cost us $75. Okay, so if I want to turn this into an algebraic equation, I just take one of these boxes, 6 plus D, and I multiply it by 5 because there's 5 people going, and that equals 75. Now what I want you to realize is we're going to solve this the exact same way we solved the last one. We're going to use our distributive property. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 5 times D is 5D, equals 75. I'm solving for my unknown, my D. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to get rid of whatever's adding or being added to or subtracted from or anything like that. It's like we're doing order of operations backwards. Normally the last thing we do is adding and subtracting. Well, to go backwards, it's going to be the first thing we deal with. So I'm going to get rid of the 30 by subtracting it, or thinking of it as we're combining it with the negative 30. 5 times D, multiplied there, equals 45. And then we divide both sides by 5, because we undo multiplying with division, like a one-step equation here. And our drive-in is going to cost 45 divided by 9, which is $9. Okay. All right, so again, in this video and the next video, we're going to take the information about this family vacation, and we're going to use the tape diagram to change it into an algebraic equation.